Elias Rourke had prepared for many strange things before coming to Valyria. He had practiced alien greetings, studied planetary customs, and even learned how to bow at the correct angle so that no culture would take offense. But nothing in his months of training prepared him for the moment he stepped into the Great Crystal Embassy. The embassy was carved out of pure, translucent stone. Soft blue light flowed through the walls like water, glowing brighter whenever someone walked past. The floor felt smooth under Elias's boots, almost like glass, but warm from the gentle bioenergy running through the building. Valyria was famous for its living architecture. Everything on the planet, from buildings to bridges, had a faint pulse, as if the world itself breathed with its people. Elias walked through the tall archway with a small diplomatic team behind him. He was Earth's first official ambassador. The responsibility was heavy, but he kept a calm face. Humans were new to the galactic stage. Every small action mattered. Every word mattered. Even a smile could be misunderstood if shown at the wrong time. The Valyrian hosts waited near the center of the room. They were tall, much taller than any human. Their skin glowed softly, like the shine of moonlight on water. Their eyes had no pupils, only solid color, shifting with emotion. Most had long hair that floated as if underwater, even though there was no breeze. To Elias, they were breathtaking. Not only beautiful in appearance, but graceful in a way humans rarely were. Every movement looked like a dance. The lead diplomat stepped forward. Her name, translated into English, was Serenia. She wore long robes that shimmered from blue to silver when she moved. Of all the Valyrians, her presence felt the strongest. Not threatening, just powerful, the way a calm ocean can still be powerful. "Welcome, Ambassador Elias Rourke of Earth," she said. Her voice sounded like soft wind chimes. "We are honored to host you." Elias bowed carefully. "The honor is mine. Earth hopes this visit will be the start of a long friendship." Murmurs of approval flowed through the Valyrian crowd. They valued respect, calmness, and harmony. So far, Elias was doing well. A series of speeches followed simple, polite exchanges about peace, unity, and shared futures. But as the event moved into its informal cultural exchange, Elias felt something shift. The atmosphere became lighter, less strict. Visitors began to walk among each other, talking freely. His team encouraged him to relax. "Just observe," one whispered. "Talk, learn, connect." So Elias did. He approached a table where 3 Valyrians stood examining small Earth artifacts displayed as gifts. Serenia was among them. They had been discussing Earth music, Earth oceans, and Earth art. To show politeness, Elias tried to answer every question with enthusiasm and honesty. But then, something unexpected happened. One of the Valyrians, tall, curious, and with hair the color of green crystal, asked him about Earth greetings. "Your species expresses closeness through gestures, yes? Handshakes, embraces, even lip contact?" "You mean kissing?" Elias asked with a smile. "Yes," she replied. "Kissing. A display of affection." The group listened closely. Valyrians loved studying emotional customs. Elias explained, keeping things simple. On Earth, kisses can mean different things. Friendly, family, romantic, comforting. It depends on the situation. The green-haired Valyrian looked fascinated. "And how would one know when it is appropriate?" "Well," Elias said, "sometimes you just ask." The Valyrians exchanged intrigued murmurs. Elias felt encouraged. He had always been more comfortable with humor than with stiff diplomacy. He wanted to show them that humans could connect warmly, not only formally. So he decided to demonstrate the idea of a playful question. He turned to the group, mostly toward Serenia, and asked in a friendly, joking tone, "If I kissed you, how would you react?" The moment the words left his mouth, he realized something was wrong. The room went silent. Not a polite pause, Not a confused reaction. A deep, heavy silence spread through the embassy like a shockwave. Every glowing pair of Valyrian eyes locked onto him. Conversations stopped. Even the walls seemed to dim in response. Elias felt his heart drop. What did I just do? He hadn't meant anything serious. It was supposed to show the idea of asking permission. A simple example. A harmless question. But the Valyrians did not look offended. They looked alarmed. Serenia stepped forward slowly. Her expression was calm, but the light in her eyes had shifted to a pale silver, a color Elias had not seen before. Valyrian eyes changed with emotional energy. Silver meant something complex, something important. She studied him for a long moment. Not angry, not embarrassed, concerned. Finally, she spoke, her voice quiet enough that the room leaned in to hear. Ambassador Elias Rourke, she said, do you understand the significance of what you just asked? I guess not, he admitted. His cheeks warmed. Where I come from, it's more of a joke. A playful question. Nothing serious. Serenia's expression softened, but her voice remained serious. Among our people, she said, a kiss is not a simple gesture. It is not casual. It is not playful. It is dangerous. Elias blinked. Dangerous? Why? A low hum rippled through the Valyrians. They were uncomfortable, but also curious. A few whispered translations into their own language. Others watched Serenia carefully, waiting for her explanation. Valyrians, Serenia said, possess psionic resonance. Our emotional and physical energy interacts with the minds of those we touch. Most species are incompatible with us. Their energy clashes with ours. But humans. She paused. Her glowing eyes studied Elias again, deeper this time. Humans are strangely compatible. Elias felt confused. Compatible how? A simple touch can create a temporary link. A momentary sharing of emotion. But a kiss. Her voice softened even more. A manger, a manger, a manger, video. A kiss can cause a full resonance surge. Our mind and the other mind blend. Our energies strengthen each other. And if the bond is not balanced, she lifted her hand slightly, as if showing an explosion. It becomes overwhelming, uncontrolled, a storm that neither person can contain. Elias's heart thumped. This was far more serious than he expected. So, if a human kissed a Valyrian, it would not be romantic, Serenia said gently. It would be a merging of power, a binding beyond intention. And it could injure both participants if they are unprepared. Someone in the crowd added, kisses are only performed by partners seeking lifelong resonance. Another said, it is a sacred act. Someone else whispered, it can awaken abilities. Elias swallowed. Hard. All that from a kiss? No wonder they reacted this way. I'm so sorry, Elias said quickly. I truly didn't know. I didn't mean to. Serenia raised a hand. Peace, Ambassador. We understand your customs are different. No offense is taken. But your question was not a small one. She stepped closer, slow, deliberate, graceful. Close enough that Elias could see faint energy drifting across her skin like stardust. Then, with calm seriousness, she answered his question. If you kissed me, she said, I would react with great caution, because such a gesture from you could change my abilities, my mind, my life, and possibly yours. Elias felt breathless not from attraction, but from pure disbelief. A gesture so casual for humans meant something incredibly powerful to them. I didn't know, he said again, softer. I'm sorry. Serenia gave a gentle nod. And now you do. The energy in the room balanced again. Conversations slowly restarted. The walls brightened. The Valyrian's eyes returned to softer colors. The tension dissolved, though curiosity remained. But Elias noticed something else. While most Valyrians returned to their discussions, Serenia kept watching him, not with anger, not with judgment, with interest, deep, thoughtful interest. As if his question, accidental as it was, had opened a door she never expected. He lay awake in the guest chamber provided by the Valyrian embassy. The room was beautiful, smooth crystal walls glowing with soft colors, gentle lights drifting like little stars, and yet his mind was too full to rest. Every time he closed his eyes, he remembered the moment the entire hall went silent after his question. If I kissed you, how would you react? Why had he said that? Why did he think that was a good idea? He had not meant anything serious, but the reaction had been huge. And Serenia's answer? That was what kept him awake most of all. A kiss could change abilities. A kiss could blend two minds. A kiss could become a bond. It was unbelievable. Impossible. And yet it was completely normal for Valyrians. Elias sat up, rubbed his face, and let out a long breath. Great job, Elias, he muttered to himself. Day one of diplomatic work, and you almost caused a cultural crisis. But strangely, he was not scared anymore. Embarrassed, yes, but also curious. Humans had no idea they could interact with Valyrian energy like that. Why was their biology compatible? What made humans special? He needed answers. The next morning, a soft chime rang through his room. The crystal walls brightened as a doorway opened. A young Valyrian messenger stood outside, glowing faintly with green light. Ambassador Rourke, she said, bowing gracefully. Elias blinked. What? Chamber? It is where psionic flows are studied and measured. She explained gently. Your presence has been requested. He had a feeling this was about last night. All right, he said. Lead the way. The resonance chamber was unlike anything Elias had ever seen. It was circular, with tall pillars of glowing stone, arranged like the ribs of a giant creature. Energy drifted in shimmering waves, rising from the floor like mist. The air felt alive, warm, almost aware. Serenia stood near the center, along with several elder diplomats. When Elias entered, she gave him a soft, polite nod. Good morning, Ambassador, she said. I hope you rested well. Elias cleared his throat. I tried. Serenia's eyes brightened slightly, showing a hint of amusement. Good, at least she didn't hate him. One of the elders stepped forward. His voice was deeper, his glow dimmer but stronger. We have called you here to discuss the event of last night. Specifically, the resonance that occurred when you asked your question. Elias felt heat rise in his cheeks. Yes. I'm sorry. I didn't understand the cultural meaning. We do not blame you, the elder said. But something unusual happened in that moment. Elias frowned. What do you mean? Serenia raised her hand. A small crystal panel floated up from the table beside her. It projected a soft blue light that formed patterns in the air circles, lines, pulsing shapes. Data, Elias assumed. When you spoke, Serenia explained, your emotional energy changed. Normally, humans emit low psionic frequencies, very soft, almost unremarkable. But in that moment when you asked your question, your energy spiked. Spiked? Elias repeated. How? Like this, she said. The crystal projection formed a wave pattern, smooth at first, then suddenly rising sharply. Elias stared, amazed. This is me? He asked. Yes, Serenia said. It happened the moment you looked at me and asked your question. The resonance surge was brief, but strong enough for every Valyrian in the room to feel it. Elias felt stunned. So my emotions caused that? Human emotions, Serenia said softly, are far more powerful than we believed. The elders murmured in agreement. We always assumed humans were psionically mild, one elder said. But this reaction suggests your species has deeper potential, latent energy, that is awakened under specific circumstances. Elias exhaled slowly. This is a lot to take in. Serenia stepped closer. I understand. But you must also understand why this is important. Elias nodded. I'm listening. Serenia folded her hands. There is a group on our planet. A rogue faction. They believe Valyria should only ally with species that can enhance our psionic abilities. They fear humans because of our compatibility. They believe we could be changed too much. Changed how? Elias asked. Stronger, Serenia said. More emotional. More unified with others. They fear it would weaken our traditions. And they might want to stop any human-Valyrian partnership, an elder added. Elias felt his stomach twist. So, they're dangerous? They avoid violence, Serenia said. But they use influence, sabotage, and fear. And if they learn that you caused a resonance spike simply by asking a question. She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't have to. Elias sighed. So, what do we do? Serenia gave a slow breath, as if making a decision. We study it. Carefully. Together. Elias blinked. Study it? Yes. I wish to understand why humans can resonate with us so strongly. And why you, in particular, caused such a spike. It could be important for both our worlds. A part of Elias felt nervous. Another part felt honored. And somewhere deep inside, he felt something else, a strange warmth, when Serenia looked at him. But he pushed that feeling aside. This wasn't romance. This was diplomacy. Science. Understanding. What do you need me to do? Elias asked. Serenia gestured toward the center of the chamber. As he stepped forward, the air grew warm again. Serenia stood a short distance from him, hands held in front of her. I will create a small psionic field, she said. Not strong. Just enough to measure your response. All you must do is remain calm. Elias laughed nervously. Calm. Right. Easy. Serenia smiled faintly. I will guide you. Her hands lifted. Light flowed around them like ribbons. A soft breeze swept through the chamber, though no air actually moved. Elias felt tingles on his skin. Like tiny sparks. Not painful, just strange. Like someone brushing warm fingers near him. Do not resist, Serenia said gently. Just breathe. He tried. His heart thumped, but he breathed slowly. Serenia's glow grew brighter. And Elias felt something. A pulse. A soft thrum. Like a heartbeat. But not his. Then a second pulse. Then a third. Faster. Suddenly, a wave of emotion washed through him. Not his emotions, someone else's. Calmness. Curiosity. Ancient wonder. Serenia's emotions. He gasped softly. Are you all right? She asked. Yes, he breathed. I felt something. Good, Serenia said. That is resonance. The elders watched in awe. But then the air changed. A flicker of fear, sharp, cold, flashed through Serenia. Elias felt it. Serenia? He whispered. She froze, lowering her hands. The glow faded. The elders noticed the shift immediately. What did you sense? One asked sharply. Serenia looked toward the chamber entrance. Her eyes turned a deep violet fear and caution. There is someone outside, she said. Watching. Elias tensed. The rogue faction? Serenia didn't answer. Instead, she stepped between Elias and the entrance. Ambassador, she said quietly. Your energy is valuable to them. That makes you a target. Elias swallowed. Me? Why? Because a bond with a human can unlock power they want to control. And you have already shown strong resonance. The chamber doors trembled as if someone tried to breach them. The elders activated energy shields. Serenia turned to Elias, her eyes glowing bright. "We must leave. Now." Elias nodded, pulse racing. But as they prepared to escape, one thought echoed in his mind. If a simple question caused that much reaction, what would happen if real contact occurred? He didn't know the answer, but he knew this was only the beginning. The chamber doors trembled again, low, steady, like something was pushing from the outside. Elias's heart pounded. He had expected diplomatic speeches, maybe cultural misunderstandings, but not this. Not danger. Serenia lifted both hands, palms glowing bright silver. A protective barrier shimmered in front of the entrance. The elders gathered behind her, forming a circle. Their robes flickered with energy. They were preparing for the worst. Elias stood frozen. "Who are they?" he whispered. Serenia did not move her eyes from the door. "Members of the rogue faction. They must have learned about your resonance spike yesterday. But why come here? What do they want with me?" An elder looked back at him gravely. "Human resonance is rare, unstudied. You show higher potential than we expected. They might want to use you." "Use me how?" The answer came from Serenia, her voice tight. "To amplify their psionic abilities, humans can act as a catalyst. If they force a resonance bond, it could make them strong enough to influence the entire Valyrian Council." Elias felt cold. "So, a mind weapon?" "Yes," Serenia said. "And that is why we must protect you." The doors shook again, harder this time. A faint humming sound filled the room. The elders recognized it instantly. "They brought disruptors," one muttered. Serenia's expression hardened. "Elias, stay behind me." He did exactly that. The bright barrier flickered. Then, crack! The energy field snapped like glass. The doors were forced open. A group of 6 Valyrians stepped inside, their eyes glowing red, not natural color, but the result of psionic overload. The leader, tall and sharp-faced, moved first. "Serenia," he said coldly, "step aside." "You know I will not," she replied. His gaze moved to Elias. "Human, you caused a resonance spike with nothing but a question. Imagine what you could do, if properly guided." Elias stepped back, pulse racing. "No thanks. I'm not joining your group project." A few elders almost smiled at his attempt at humor, even in danger. Serenia raised her hand higher. "You will not touch him." The leader narrowed his eyes. "We do not wish to harm you, Serenia, but he belongs with us." "No." Elias whispered, "I do not." And then the room erupted. The rogue faction moved fast, too fast. Psionic energy exploded from their hands. Shining red waves shot across the chamber. The elders tried to shield, but the disruptors weakened them. Elias ducked. One blast hit a pillar, shattering it. Serenia stepped forward, arms sweeping in a fluid arc. A silver wave burst from her body, blocking several attacks. Her movements looked like she was dancing, graceful, powerful, practiced, but she was outnumbered. "Elias," she said sharply. "Get down." Another attack came his way. He crouched low and covered his head. Heat brushed his skin. Sparks flew across the floor. He wanted to help, but how? He had no weapons, no training. But he felt something inside him. A thrum, a pulse, a warmth he had felt earlier in the resonance test. "Is that my energy?" Before he could think more, a disruptor beam shattered the ground near him. The shockwave knocked him backward. His hand instinctively reached out. Serenia grabbed his wrist. The moment their skin touched, the world changed. A blast of light surged from their joined hands. Pure, white energy exploded outward, forming a shield around them. The air vibrated like a giant heartbeat. Elias saw flashes not in front of his eyes, but inside his mind. Serenia's memories, her training, her fears, her thoughts from last night when he asked the kiss question, her surprise at his resonance, her quiet belief that humans were more important to Valyria than anyone knew. At the same time, Serenia felt his emotions: fear, confusion, determination, kindness. The bond pulsed stronger. The rogue faction staggered back. "What is this?" one shouted. "Resonance surge," another yelled. "Impossible. He's human." Serenia squeezed Elias's hand. "Do not let go." He didn't. He couldn't. A wave of silver energy radiated from them again. The elders took advantage, sending counterattacks. The rogue faction struggled to stay upright. The leader growled and raised another disruptor device. "Break them apart," he fired. The beam shot straight toward Elias. Serenia reacted instantly. She pulled him toward her, raising her free hand. Their joined energy flared. The beam struck their shield and deflected, shattering a crystal wall instead. The leader stared in disbelief. "A hybrid defense?" he whispered. "A Valyrian human resonance bond, but incomplete." Serenia looked at Elias, breathing hard. "Are you hurt?" "No," he said. "But what just happened?" "You reacted. Your energy merged with mine." Her voice trembled slightly. "It should not be possible so easily." The leader snarled and gave a signal. The attackers surrounded them again. Serenia's glow dimmed slightly. She was strong but not endless. Elias realized something urgent. She was trying to protect him without hurting them severely. But they weren't showing the same mercy. He placed his other hand over hers. "Tell me what to do." "Cruz." She stared at him, startled. "You cannot fight. You have no training." "Then use my energy," Elias said. "You said we resonated." "Let me help." Serenia hesitated. "It could harm you. Letting them take me will harm everyone." She breathed in deeply. "Very well. Follow my lead." Serenia closed her eyes. Elias did the same. The chamber faded. Light filled the darkness. Elias felt streams of energy around him, flowing through the room, through the walls, through Serenia. He felt her guiding the energy, shaping it, directing it. "Match my breathing," she whispered. He did. "Now, let your thoughts follow mine." He tried. At first it felt strange, like trying to follow someone else's footsteps in the dark. But slowly, their thoughts aligned. Their emotions touched. The bond deepened. A bright light burst between their hands. Elias felt his heart beating faster, not from fear, but from power. They opened their eyes together. The entire chamber glowed white. The rogue Valyrians shielded their faces. Serenia and Elias moved as one. Together, they raised a hand and a massive wave of energy blasted outward. Not harmful, not destructive, but powerful enough to throw the rogue faction to the floor and knock the disruptors out of their grasp. For a moment, the room was silent. Then Serenia stepped forward, still holding Elias's hand. Her glow returned stronger than ever. "Leave," she said firmly, her voice echoing with resonance. "You will not touch him. Not now. Not ever." The leader struggled to stand, glaring. "This is not over," Serenia answered coldly. "It is today." The rogue faction retreated, limping out of the broken doorway. Once they were gone, Elias sank to the floor, breathless. What did we just do?" Serenia knelt beside him. "We formed a partial bond, completely unintentional." He stared at her. "Is that bad?" "It is complicated," she said softly. "Our abilities linked. Your mind and mine touched. You saw things you were never meant to see. And you saw mine," Elias said quietly. Serenia nodded. The elders approached, shocked but relieved. "The rogue faction will return," one said. "But now they know he is protected." Another elder examined the faint glow still around Elias's hands. "He has gained telepathic sensitivity. Only a little, but enough to sense emotional danger." Elias blinked. Me? Telepathic? Serenia nodded. Only because of the bond. It will fade, unless it becomes complete. Elias swallowed. Complete? Serenia looked away. It requires the gesture we discussed yesterday. A kiss. Elias's heart skipped. But Serenia wasn't blushing or flustered. She was serious, focused. A full bond would stabilize your energy, she explained. And if we don't, then the partial bond might overload, she said softly, and harm us. Elias sat quietly. He didn't know what their future held. But he knew one thing clearly. After today, nothing between them would ever be simple again. The chamber remained quiet long after the rogue faction fled. Broken crystal pieces lay scattered across the floor. The walls glowed softly, as if calming themselves after the battle. Elias sat against a pillar, breathing slowly, trying to make sense of everything that had happened. Serenia stood a short distance away, talking to the elders in low voices. Her glow had softened, but Elias could still feel faint energy moving between them like an invisible thread linking their minds. Every now and then, Serenia glanced at him with worry in her eyes. Elias could feel her emotions now. Not fully, not clearly, but enough. Concern, responsibility, fear for him. He didn't know how to respond to that. Finally, the elders left the chamber to secure the embassy. Serenia walked to Elias and sat down beside him. For a moment, neither spoke. "How do you feel?" she asked softly. "Like I just survived a hurricane," he said. "But I'm okay." Serenia gave a small smile. "You did more than survive. You helped." Elias rubbed the back of his neck. "I didn't really know what I was doing." "That," Serenia said, "is what makes it remarkable." Their eyes met, and for a heartbeat, the bond pulsed again. Soft, warm, gentle. But Serenia quickly looked away. "The elders are worried. We all are." "About the rogue group?" Elias asked. "Yes, they will return. And now that they have seen your potential, they will not stop until they understand your power or control it." Elias exhaled slowly. "Great. I've been here 2 days, and already I'm a target." Serenia touched the floor lightly with her fingertips. "It is not your fault. You did nothing wrong." "But the bond," he began. She interrupted gently, "was not intentional. Neither of us expected it." Elias nodded. "What happens now? You said the bond is unstable." "It is," she confirmed. "Right now it is like a bridge with only one side built. You can cross it, but it may collapse at any moment." "And if it collapses?" Serenia hesitated. "It could overload our nervous systems, cause mental damage, or emotional confusion, or worse." Elias swallowed hard. "So, we need to fix it." "Yes," Serenia said quietly, "but fixing it means completing it." Elias knew what she meant without her saying it. "A kiss," he said softly. Serenia nodded, but she didn't look embarrassed. She looked burdened. "For Valyrians," she said, "a resonance kiss is not emotional. It is not romantic. It is a sacred act of trust, a joining of minds, a choice to share strength and vulnerability." Elias listened carefully. "If we complete the bond," she continued, "our minds will connect fully. We will share thoughts more easily. We will sense each other's emotions. Our abilities will combine." "Like earlier?" Elias asked. "Yes," she said, "but stronger, permanent." Elias took a deep breath. "Permanent?" Serenia nodded. "A bond is not easily undone." And that silence settled between them. Elias understood the weight of her words. She wasn't just telling him about a solution. She was telling him about a commitment, something sacred to her people, something that could change her future and his. "How do you feel about it?" he asked quietly. Serenia looked down at her hands. "I feel She paused, searching for the right words. Responsible for your safety. And connected. Your thoughts touched mine earlier. Your kindness. Your bravery. Your uncertainty. You have a good heart, Elias Rourke. Elias felt his face warm. Thank you. But, Serenia continued softly, this bond is not a small thing for me, for my people. Once formed, it cannot be taken lightly. I understand, Elias said. She met his eyes. Do you? He nodded. Yes. They sat in quiet again. Then the ground shook. A deep, heavy vibration rolled through the embassy walls. Serenia jumped to her feet. That came from the city! The doors burst open. A panicked guard rushed inside. Serenia, ambassador, the rogue faction launched an attack on the capital energy core. What? Serenia gasped. Elias stood. Why would they attack the core? The guard's voice trembled. Because the energy core regulates psionic balance across the entire planet. If they overload it, they could push the council into chaos or worse. Serenia's eyes widened. They want to force the council to surrender or take control. The guard nodded. We need help. Now. Serenia looked at Elias. The glow in her eyes had shifted to a fierce silver blue. There is only one way to stop them, she said. Elias didn't need to ask what that was. He took a slow breath. The bond. She nodded. A full bond will stabilize our energies. Together, we can counter their disruptors. The elders cannot do it alone. Elias stepped closer. Then, let's do it. Serenia hesitated. Elias, this is your choice. Once we connect, our minds will be linked. I will feel your emotions. You will feel mine. It will not break easily. I trust you, Elias said simply. Serenia blinked. For the first time since he had arrived, her glow brightened not with fear or determination, but with something warm. Gratitude. Then, she whispered, we complete the resonance. The chamber grew quiet again. The walls dimmed as if holding their breath. Serenia stepped toward him slowly. Elias felt his heart race not because of romance, but because of the weight of what they were about to do. Two worlds depended on this. Their safety depended on this. Serenia lifted her hand, touching his cheek gently. Just breathe, she said. Elias nodded. She leaned forward, and their lips met softly, gently, without hurry. The moment contact formed, the universe exploded in light. A surge of silver and white radiated around them, swirling like a storm of stars. The floor glowed beneath their feet. Their thoughts rushed together. Memory, emotion, hope, fear, merging and balancing. Elias felt her calmness, her strength, her centuries of knowledge, her steady heartbeat of determination. Serenia felt his bravery, his humanity, his quick mind, his will to protect, even without power. Their energies twisted together like two streams joining into one river. Elias gasped softly. Serenia whispered, we are bonded. The light faded slowly. They stepped back, still connected through the mental thread, now fully formed. Elias felt different, stronger, clearer, more aware of the world around him. Serenia nodded once. It is done. Now come, we must stop the attack. They rushed through the corridors, guided by the bond. Their steps matched. Their breaths matched. Their energy flowed together, as if they had trained for years. Outside, the sky swirled with red psionic storms. The rogue faction had activated their disruptor devices. The capital city's lights flickered dangerously. Serenia grabbed Elias's hand. Focus on me. He did. Together, they channeled their shared energy. A bright shield formed around them as they approached the energy core tower. The rogue faction was there surrounding the central crystal spire, feeding power into disruptors. The leader saw them and snarled. "You completed the bond." Serenia lifted her hand. Elias lifted his too instinctively. A blast of silver-white energy burst between their palms. It collided with the disruptors, shattering them instantly. Energy rippled across the tower, stabilizing the core. The rogue faction screamed as the backlash threw them to the ground. Their psionic overload faded, leaving them powerless. The sky calmed. The air cleared. The light returned to normal. Serenia exhaled softly. "We did it." Elias nodded. Together, the council guards rushed in and secured the rogue faction. The capital was saved. Serenia turned to Elias, her eyes glowing gently. "Our worlds are connected now in more ways than one." Elias smiled. "Yeah, and I guess I'm staying a little longer than planned." Serenia's glow warmed. "You are welcome here, Elias Rourke, as my bondmate, as our ally, and as the bridge between Earth and Valyria." Elias felt the bond pulse again, soft, steady, comforting. The future was uncertain, but for the first time, he felt ready for whatever came next.